Let's simplify it. Just basically say that my physiological state or physiological state influences our experiences in the world. So, like when our body's calmer, we are more resilient. Our threshold to react negatively is not great. But when our body's in a sense in a state of fight, flight, or highly mobilized, or the common words we use is I'm stressed, I'm anxious, we react to the world differently. But the point is, the psychological terms of stress and anxiety are really words we use to describe that physiological state. So the physiological state that we're in influences how we react to the world. And if you can, in a sense, internalize that yourself, you become aware and you monitor your physiology, and you start acknowledging that if you're kind of like this, you might not want to go into that room. And of course, we all live in a culture which says get over it, which means using top-down mechanisms to try to force a reluctant body. But polyvagal theory says you can do that for quite a while, and then your body just will go on its own. It will just say, I've had enough of this. And I think we need to be appreciative of this really powerful nervous system that we have. And when it says, I've had enough, we better listen to it. So, first point is the intervening variable. What that means between external causation and our behavior is a physiological state. And we just have to be appreciative of that. If that's the only thing about polyvagal theory we take home, that's a lot. And when we get into that intervening physiology, we know there are literally three different overall circuits or states. One that is resilient and is socially engaging and calming, that's run by this ventral vagal structure, and that is also involved with the muscles of our face and head and our voice. So, as a clinician or as just plain human being, you become aware of the other person's voice and facial expressivity, and what you're doing is reading their physiological state. So when they're moving out of this calm ventral vagal social engagement and getting, quote, stressed or anxious, the muscles of the face stop working, the upper part of the face, no smiles, and their voices lose all the intonation. So now you're polyvagal informed. And when people are expressing that tension, the way to reduce that is through co-regulation, another polyvagal concept, and that is you start broadcasting signals of safety, which means accessibility, a prosodic voice, a smile, an open heart. I mean, we have all the metaphors flowing around. Yes, an open heart. But when we say my heart was open, our hands automatically go out. But what we forget is if you carry a history of trauma, the accessibility, this continuum of accessibility, gets changed into vulnerability. So our bodies don't want to be open to others because we carry with it a history. Now, this goes to this next concept of neuroception. Neuroception is really our nervous system evolved to actually react with programs. So if I engage you with a prosodic voice and a gesture, your body opens up. But if you carry a trauma history, that visceral physiological reaction of being accessible is not just frightening, it's dangerous. So your nervous system associates with this accessibility feeling with vulnerability. So whash, the body reacts. So the other part, which is what part of the question is, it's that vagal break that provides the neural mechanism to move that physiology from fight flight, from mobilization to calmness. And when we're in states of stress or anxiety, the vagal brake has gone for a vacation. Because if the body moves into a state of threat, it's not like I can put the vagal brake on at will. It's not going to be accessible because our body already detected that the environment's dangerous. So it doesn't work because the body already has prioritized signals of danger.
So the question is how to
Okay.
back into it when, how can we,
Yeah.
how we can cultivate it. It's what we have been doing during the whole course. But
Yeah. So this is an interesting journey because when we go into Eastern strategies of literally state regulation, various yoga forms and even Japanese breathing methods, all of those are leveraging an implicit knowledge of the vagal brake. And the vagal brake works during exhalation. So we have access to this circuit by slow exhalation and even pushing down on the abdominal muscles. So the abdominal breathing and the slow exhalation optimize the opportunity for the vagal brake to work.
And that's what's so beautiful about developing a daily habit, the same that one flosses the teeth to floss the mind and do it daily, unload anxiety daily with either of the practices of contemplative movements, for example, which also bring the body to a really calm state, or breath or touch. You are working also with great compassion for yourself and with understanding that there is this neurophysiological response and that you can be aware of it, and that when the trigger is coming, then you reach for the practice that's resonating for you and you bring it back again into some sense of regulation. So just keep practicing and know that it's both the awareness, um, the love for yourself and for compassion also for the nervous system in front of you, and then trusting that even when things go sometimes so difficult, it's just all part of a journey of unfolding consciousness. And what we want to do is keep re-engaging with it and keep assisting our nervous system so that it can come along in the way of being present with all these different things that come up.